Hello, and welcome to the 1,533 subscribers. That's you. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you, and we are growing fast. My gosh, we've jumped up to 100 subscribers in the last month, and some of you guys are commenting, and I really appreciate that because it gives me time to think about how I'm impacting you and if you're getting what I'm saying or not. And it looks like that you are. Had a couple women comment. A couple of them didn't seem to be very happy with what I said, but I appreciate your comments too because it helps me to see things from a different perspective. Men and women think differently. That's probably no surprise to you guys, but it's so easy for us men to just think that women are goofy or stupid because they don't think like us. They're not. They're not goofy. They're not stupid. They just think differently. And on the reverse of that, many women look at men and think, oh, they're stupid or they're rude or they're crude. And that's not correct either. We just think differently, and it's hard for the opposite sex to grasp how the other side thinks. So I appreciate the comments from the men as well as the women because it helps me to keep things in perspective. And a lot of times what I'm telling you guys may not come across like how I really mean it. So it really helps me that you guys comment. So thank you for that. And share this with a friend if you think it'll be valuable to them. And today's topic is going to be travel. I had quite the experience at the airport yesterday. So when traveling, a lot of times it doesn't like you just go and get on the plane and go. You have a difficulty occasionally. But before we begin, like and subscribe. Go ahead, hit that like button. Leave a comment, as I said, in the comment section. Okay, so here's the deal. I was going to, where was I going? Playa del Carmen yesterday. Well, let me back it up. The last 4 times I was going to travel, I actually only traveled once. And I went to the airport. Well, 3 of those times I went to the airport. Well, the first time I was supposed to go out and meet Afi Kingdom. He's a great author. He's written over 20 books published on Amazon. All right, so I go to the airport, right? I told this story before, so some of you may have heard it. And I go to check in, Frontier Airlines. They can't find my reservation. I'm like, what the hell? She's looking. Finally, she finds it, but it's for the next month. So I booked the damn thing on the wrong month. I mean, I'm looking right at the calendar. Don't know how I did that. So whatever, so I went home. So the next month I go back. Was that 10? Yeah, no, the next month I'm gonna go. But in between I went to the Dominican with a girl from Medellin, Colombia, who I've gone out with off and on for 4 years. That worked out pretty good. Everything went fine. It was smooth sailing. So comes the time I'm supposed to go meet Afi for the scheduled flight. And I wake up that morning, I am dizzy as hell. Occasionally I get this, what they call vertigo. I don't know. Sometimes I think I breathe too much dust on the job and it causes it. I'm not sure what causes it. I thought maybe it was from boxing for so many years, punched in the head too many times, right? But anyway, shit, I can't fly because I can't hardly walk. So that got canceled. Lost my ticket, hotel, everything on that one. But that's the way life goes. I just got to accept it. And even when things don't go the way you want them to, if you have a goal, a vision, a purpose, a dream, a written goal, they are going exactly how you want them to. Even if it seems contrary to what you think you need to get to where you want to go. But you can't see the big picture. There's a part of you, the God part of you, or some people believe it's God. I don't believe God and I are separate. I don't believe I am God, but I believe I am God. I don't know if you understand that. I'm not the God that created the universes. But again, the universe is inside you and me. But that's pretty esoteric and kind of deep, so I won't get into that. Whatever you believe that works for you, that's good. Everybody's different. So anyway, you got to believe that everything, even when it looks like it's going to hell and can't possibly work out, that it is working out for your good to get you to where you want to go. You cannot, no way in hell, plan how you're going to get to where you want to go. But you need to make a plan so you can set off in a direction. But that's another video. Back to travel. Okay. So yesterday I was supposed to go to Playa del Carmen. Had it set up, hotel, everything, for myself and my friend from Medellin. So, and I got a brand new passport, right? Because my other one expired. So I get down to the airport, everything's fine, I get there early. I always get there early, because you never know what's going to happen. Traffic, flat tire, problems at, what's it called? Geez, TSA, security, where they check you in, you take your shoes off and all that bullshit. But it's good. So I get up, there was a quick line, not too many people. And I get up there and give my passport, and there's something wrong with it. It's brand new. How can there be anything wrong with it? So she calls a manager over there, and they look at it, and they call another manager, then they call a supervisor, and there's something wrong with it. They ask me for my ID, so I show them my ID. All right, so they finally let me through, and I said, what's the issue with it? And they said, well, sometimes when they make these, they cut the numbers off. There's a row of numbers and symbols at the bottom, and it won't scan. I said, well, is this going to be a problem when I travel in other countries? And they said, well, we don't know. I said, that's comforting. So you get out of the country. It's possible I could have gone yesterday, which I didn't go because of some other problem. That when I tried to get in the country, because they scan your passport in other countries, if it wouldn't scan, they may not let me in, they may have sent me back. So that would have been a hell of a hassle. And my friend would have already been there, so, and I couldn't have gone back, so that could have been a damn nightmare. So I go on through, but I'm gonna go on the flight. I think, well, is God speaking to me, or should I go? But I'm gonna go ahead and go. So I go down there, and I'm waiting for my flight at the gate, and then I get a text message from the girl I'm going to meet. She missed her flight. It's like, son of a bitch. She missed her flight. I'm like, how did you do that? Well, I'll tell you how that happened. I've always been on her ass. We've traveled together a lot about get to the damn airport 2 to 3 hours ahead of time, just in case. But she doesn't do that, of course. She doesn't want to listen to me. So she checks in online, and then she gets there like right at the last minute. Well, this time she got there right at the last minute, and guess what? She couldn't find the QR code on the phone. I guess she said her phone was broke or whatever happened. So she's at the airport, and guess what? I think she contacted me like at 5:02 or 3, and the flight left at 5:05. So she was late, getting there. One thing, and I'm gonna tell you guys this, if you travel, never trust the QR code. Because sometimes there's not internet in the airport if you're out of the country, because your internet won't work, because your service can't get to you. You gotta print that thing out, just in case. You gotta get it, go to the kiosk and get an e-ticket. That's what you need. Also, if you're gonna use that QR code, you wanna screenshot it. That's what I used to do, and then you have it. Because trying to find that in your email sometimes can be a hassle too, or at least leave that window open so you know where it's at. And another thing I want to emphasize is, I know it's a pain in the ass to get there 2 or 3 hours early, and then you sit there and wait for an hour and a half, but you never know what kind of a line you're going to have in the pre-check, where they check your bags and you go through the security. Sometimes that takes a hell of a long time to get through. Yesterday it wasn't bad. So you need to get there early. I realize you may have to sit and wait for an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it's worth it, because you don't want to be running at the last minute trying to get there or miss your flight like my friend did yesterday. So needless to say, she missed her flight, and I like, shit. So I went back home. But after I thought about it, I thought, I could have gone out of the country and had a hell of a lot of trouble, not been able to meet her because they wouldn't let me in the country, and then she wouldn't have been able to get in the hotel because the hotel was in my name with my credit card. So it could have been a hell of a disaster. Now, it seems like in the moment that what happened was a hell of a disaster, because I lost like $1,000, right? I was able to get half of the hotel back. So that knocked it down to about $1,000, plus my time of going down there. But life is about perspective, how you look at things. Let's say I would have gone and they wouldn't have allowed me in the country. That would have been more costly, more time. Okay, but let's say they would have allowed me to get into the country, but yet when I wanted to leave, they wouldn't let me go. that could have been a hassle too. I would have had to go to the embassy down there, find the embassy, go to the embassy, get a temporary passport. So you need, when you run into these things, you need to try to look at it get above the situation and look at it from different perspectives and different possibilities of how things could have not worked out too well had you gotten what you wanted or what you thought you wanted. Very important. And that's just a few ways of how things could have played out. There's 1,000 other ones that you can't even imagine that could be terrible, or it could be better. But you never know. But remember, when you're going through life and things seem to go to shit, try to back off from it and look at it from the eye of the observer. That person or that thing inside of you that says, why are you doing this? What's going on here? That actually talks to you. Some people say you're talking to yourself, but are you really talking to yourself, or are you talking to your higher self, that part of divinity within you? Now, it's just the way I see it. You can look at it however you want to. But why not choose to look at things and everything that happens to you for your good? Choose to look at it like it's moving you towards your goals. That is, if you have a goal. Only 1% of the population has written goals. Do you have a written goal? If you don't, write that down today. And I was going there to finish my book, so I'm not sure how I'll do that. I just can't write here. I got the kids. I got too many distractions. But maybe I'll go somewhere else, or maybe I'll just go to a hotel in St. Louis and finish writing it there. But I'll get it done one day. All right, I'm done. I got to get to work. I'm going to work out today. Got some things to take care of. And it's great to be here with you guys. Once again, thank you to my 1,533 subscribers. You're the reason I'm here. If you have any suggestions or comments, lay them out there. If you'd like me to speak on something, I'd be glad to do that.